and fire them on the United States. Because the United States and Key West is only 90 miles from Cuba, from Havana.
That's mine, thank you.
So anyway, the ships were there. Our satellites were photographing them. Our spy planes were photographing them. We knew the ships were coming with the missiles, and we saw pictures of the launch pads and some of the missiles on launch pads in Cuba. And where was the first one aimed? In Tampa, at MacDill Air Force Base. Okay, that's only 120 miles away. But they easily could reach that. And so if they ever let loose one of those missiles, Tampa would be toast. Be just like Hiroshima or Nagasaki. Well, Mr. Kennedy, who was our president, and Nikita Khrushchev, who was the Russian premier, were playing very dangerous game, brinksmanship. And it was a question who was going to go ahead and blink first. So we knew what was happening, and we were staging all the B-47 bombers into MacDill. Hundreds of them from all over the United States were landing at MacDill for retaliatory strikes if they let loose a missile on Tampa or anywhere in the United States. And we knew in Tampa that the first one was going to hit MacDill and that we would be obliterated, just like Nagasaki or Hiroshima. That was the night that we opened with Damn Yankees at the Tampa Community Theater. Now, we had a theater that would seat 660 people. And in those days, we didn't have the multiplex theaters. We didn't have the professional theaters. All we had was the movies and a lot of bars and strip joints and things like that. So we sold out the theater every year because it was only $15 for 6 shows, which was nothing.
Yeah.
You know? 2 of the shows were always musicals. So we sold it out. But here comes opening night, which was a Wednesday night, and or is it Tuesday night? I don't know, but whenever October 22nd was. And we opened with Damn Yankees. Well, nobody else had anything else to do in town, so they all would come out to Little Theater. It was the only little theater or community theater anywhere in the area. So we opened with Damn Yankees, and this was the show that, you know, whatever Lola wants, Lola gets, that song, and many others. But there was one song that was in there that the ball players, 3 of us, performed with our manager. Now, this was the story of the Washington Senators, a baseball team in Washington, D.C. And it was always in 7th or 8th place. Terrible team. Never had any power hitting or good pitching. It was always in either 7th or 8th place when it was only 8 places in each league, American or national. So, Kenny Vanette, who was a junior high school principal and a very close friend of mine, just died 2 years ago at age 82 or something like that. But Kenny was the manager of the ball club, and he's coming out to give 3 of the ball players a pep talk on the upcoming game. And he starts out with, "You've got to have heart." That's the one thing that you gotta have. You gotta have heart. And that's a song. You gotta have heart, miles and miles and miles of heart. When the odds are betting you'll never win, that's when the grin should start. You gotta have hope, mustn't sit around and mope. Nothing's half as bad as it may appear. Wait till next year and hope. So on and so forth. Well, everybody was down. I mean, the audience was silent because of these B-47s flying over the theater landing in MacDill. But it broke the spell. It broke the spell. That song broke the spell. And they got up their seats and cheered. I mean, en masse. Cheered. and the hair stood up on the back of our heads, and they wouldn't let us off the stage until we did 2 more reprises of Heart. Now that was a thrill.
You've gotta have heart.
It was the most thrilling thing that ever